Seriously? Ew. Mucus. I can't take a shower with a dirty drain catch. I mean, I can, I have, but I don't. I'll admit that my bathroom is pretty gross. Our whole house is gross, but the bathroom in particular is unventilated and mildews uncontrollably. I bought a new shower curtain recently with the faux London Underground map on it. It's got tube stations in the Thames, and that's some improvement. But it's still pretty gross. Now, I accept its grossness because the rent is cheap, and because I live with the two dudes I love most in the world, my boyfriend and our comic geek flatmate. They've actually lived here for 3 years longer than I have, at least. I only moved in last July. And we used to joke with our friends that I would be an improving influence. But in actual fact, I am an unladylike slob. You should see my bedroom. Actually, I'd really rather you didn't see my bedroom. You can see the kitchen, though. Just down the stairs. Sometimes I'm really good about loading and unloading the dishwasher, and sometimes the comic geek cleans all the surfaces, and sometimes my boyfriend picks up a little bit, but usually there are dishes in the sink and stains in the counter and an unfortunate odor coming from the refrigerator. We've talked about putting together a schedule or a chore wheel, but we don't. I think it's because we don't actually care that much, unless somebody's parents are coming to visit. Anyway, for better or worse, I accept our state of perpetual filthiness. But I have a pet peeve. You see this? You see what I'm doing right now? You see how when I wash my hair and it comes out in my hand, I put it on the wall. Then, when I'm done showering, I get out, I take it off the wall, and I throw it away. I've been doing... I think it works really well. I've been doing it since I was 16 years old, and I lived at my parents' house, and I had my own bathroom, and I realized that my long hair clogged drains. And sometimes Drano doesn't work. But when I moved out, and I started having to share bathrooms, I realized that other people aren't always as sensible. And showering while wading in 6 inches of water became a common problem. And for this reason, drain catches were like one of the most exciting domestic discoveries of my entire life. Because not only is showering while water gathers at your feet gross, you know what you can't do with a clogged drain? Anybody?
What?
You can't pee in it! Now, I know half of you do it, and the rest of you shouldn't be grossed out. Because, you know, it just washes away when the drain's working, you know. Washes away. And you know, it's the only chance for me, as somebody born without a penis, to pee standing up. Okay? Okay? Totally sanitary. If the drain is working like it should, I move the drain catch out of the way because that's considerate. Other people have to touch this. Or at least they would if they were civilized humans who clean the drain catch after they shower. But you'd think that even uncivilized humans, especially those who studied literature at UC Berkeley, could read. And I have written a sign on the door. A very friendly sign. Certainly more friendly than all the signs that I want to put like all over the rest of the house. And even someday, hopefully, all over the rest of the world. You know, like good taste is an artificial distinction created by the bourgeoisie. And pleasure is fucking good for you. Give responsibly. And media representation matters. And I am not a radical. And even I made an effort to look fabulous today. Pay me a fucking compliment. This sign just says, did you clean the drain catch? It has a heart on it. I used nice handwriting. To be fair, my handwriting is almost always nice. My comic geek flatmate has even complimented me on it. But neither he nor my boyfriend ever seem to read the sign. It's impossible not to see. I stare at it every time I take a shit because we are not so civilized as to provide alternate reading material for such occasions. And it's been there for at least 6 months. Recently, I added an addendum to it. It says, seriously, your hair and phlegm are gross. But so far, no effect. Even when our house guests started commenting on it. Sometimes, if my boyfriend and I are showering together, he will clean it for me. Oh! Don't want you to be filled with rage. I'm not filled with rage. I think you're filled with rage. Now, my boyfriend is a smart man. He knows that I'm not mad usually means I'm mad, especially when I'm denying it to myself. Or maybe it's just that he thinks I'm always filled with rage, which I'm not. Am I? It is true that when I am angry, my requests tend to be a little bit more effective. For example, there's a patio behind the kitchen. It's very small. Doesn't really qualify as a backyard, covered in ivy. Yeah, the guys and their friends used to call that the downstairs bathroom because they'd get drunk and pee out there instead of going upstairs to the toilet. Super gross. So, one day, my boyfriend came inside after using the patio and I said, you know, I didn't say anything before I moved in because it was your house. But if somebody did that at my house, I'd be insulted. And that was the end of it. But I'd really rather I didn't have to be angry for people to do what I tell them to. People should just do what I tell them to because I said so. No, really, people should do what I tell them. Don't they know I'm secretly a queen? No. Work with me here. I've got a crown. It's this hat that I wear every single goddamn day that nobody else wears. And I know it's a fedora, but it's not one of those awful, like, nice guy fedoras that certain dudes wear because they think they're bringing real gentlemen back. It's real felt, it has a wide brim, and it's maroon, or at least used to be. And if you take it off my head, I will fucking cut you. I also have a palace. I mean, yes, I have to share it, and there's mildew on the ceiling, and the toilet runs all the time, but I piss in the shower. It is mine. All I need is a realm of subjects to rule over. But I guess I'm on my way. The kids I babysit for listen to me about half the time, so I guess they're in. And I have friends who come to me for advice, which they sometimes follow. And my friend, the beer geek bro, wrote me a birthday card that said, "You have shown me a way to be a better person through our conversations on gender and sexuality and patriarchy." And you know, you guys are a captive audience. So y'all are in the queendom for at least these 10 to 15 minutes. But don't worry. I am one of those wise, benevolent queens. Not one of those evil queens like Angelina Jolie in that new Maleficent movie. Although it must be said that evil queens are a little bit ahead of the game in sex appeal. Except, benevolent queens like me have Beyonce on our side. So I think we're even. Although, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm Beyonce. That would be a really bold statement even for me. But you know that song, Flawless, that she just released? Where she's got her sacred objects that are unquestionably hers, like her rock, and then she's got her bitches that bow down in her presence, and she's worked her way up to the top so she can wake up like this, and then there's this like spoken voiceover about what feminism is by Chimamanda Adichie. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is power. So is that moment when Daenerys Targaryen emerges from the flames completely naked holding 3 baby dragons. It's like the only moment in Game of Thrones where you see tits and it's not gratuitously sexual. I mean, Daenerys has this like problematic white savior narrative going on, which is a little weird. But shit, I want dragons to protect my people and destroy my enemies. I guess you have to have some like special mother of dragon powers for that. But I've got special powers too. I've got mad last minute paper writing skills. I have a phone voice that got me mammed at the age of 11. And I have amazing tits. But unlike Daenerys, fire can most definitely kill me. Okay, let's face it. I'm totally full of shit. I mean, the most I've done to earn anybody's allegiance is earn a BA from Cal, march at a few gay marriage rallies in 2008, and tell out some guys when they were being sexist assholes. But I've got so much to say. But anyway, as subjects in my queendom, all I ask is that you keep your drain catches clean and smash the heteropatriarchy. and obey me without question, because I'm queen, of course. I mean, see? It's not that hard, right?